Hi folks, Rodney back again. Hey, I'm going to do a real quick video here. This is my 2021 Raptor 700R. It's an SE or special edition. Like I said, the graphics and the colors is kind of what sets it apart. The piggyback shocks in the front is part of the R model, and then of course part of the SE as well. I want to talk about a couple quick things here. So I recently did the big 3 on this, and I guess you could probably call it a 2.5. And the reason I say that, kind of jokingly, but it is true. So I went with the Yoshimura RS2 slip-on. They didn't have the full exhaust system, so I couldn't get that at the time. If I was to go on ahead and put the header pipe on there when it does become available, it would give it actually more power. I had Daniel from Cuervo Racing do a dyno tune on it, and unfortunately, unless you change out the header pipe, you're really losing some of the power that you could gain. Doing a slip-on, unless it's like an Empire, I can't think of some of the other names right now, but some of those other exhausts actually do create more horsepower, but they're also a lot louder. And that was one of the biggest issues that, or I should say the biggest reasons that I went with the Yoshimura, is because I'm trying to stay within that decibel regulation that they have on the Oregon coast. I ride a little bit over at Florence. I haven't been over to Winchester Bay with this bike yet. Over at Winchester Bay, they're a little more flexible, or I should say a little more lenient on the noise level, but definitely not on Florence. In Florence, it's set at 93. This actually is at 96 with the Yoshimura, and I think any of the others that are going to help you produce more horsepower are going to be up over that 100 decibel range, and so obviously that's not going to work. So anyway, I did go with that. So talking to Daniel at Cuervo Racing, he did mention that if I was to swap out the header pipe and maybe change the whole exhaust, it probably would pick up another 2.5 horsepower. I did have him going ahead and put in a hot cam stage 3. Excuse me. The biggest issue with the Raptor is that they rev out way too quick, and so I had him go to the hot cam stage 3, which gives it more over rev, and it rides a lot more like some of the other bikes, like for instance, you know, the Honda 250R or even maybe like a Banshee. But like I said, in stock form, it just revs out way too quick. So not only did I do that, I put in the power commander. And then I also changed out the intake, and so I went with a foam filter. And the reason I did that is because I'm also going to ride it in the dirt some. Obviously, the paper filter like a K&N or some of the other brands there that, you know, obviously would allow more air in, those are not very good in the dirt. You can put outerwear over them to help protect them in the sand, but when you put outerwear over the top of a filter like that in the dirt, it just clogs up way too quick. With this, I'm able to use, maybe I can take this off real quick. Anyway, I did put the filter in there, and with that I can oil it up, and it actually helps prevent you know, dirt and stuff from getting inside there. Then I can always take that filter off and then just rewash it and oil it up again. But that was the biggest reason for going with that out. Now, I also did this cover here, and so I'll let you see the name there. I don't even know how you pronounce it, but it is a billet aluminum cover. It actually is really good. I think I paid $89 for it through Amazon. Does have a mesh screen, and so it lets obviously more air inside instead of having to go without a filter, or I should say intake lid. You know, I just didn't feel like I was getting enough protection without running something on the top. So anyway, did put that on there, and then talking to Daniel, he said, you know, it actually gets more air in there than what he anticipated that it might, so it's probably not that bad a setup. I have not changed out the air tube, the intake itself. I know they make some that actually are better and give you a little more airflow. And so that's another way that you could pick up a little more power. So if I was to go ahead and take this off, run without the lid, go to a paper filter, you know, I could pick up more air intake there, change out the air tube here. I could pick up another 5 horsepower. Currently, as it sits right now, stock comes in at 45 horsepower. With the big 3 that I've done to it, and then the hot cam, I'm running right at 55 horsepower right now. So, you know, if you guys are thinking about doing this, these are some of the things to kind of think about. As I mentioned, you know, by going with this, I get more protection, so it helps screen out or keep the sand out of there. That way I can still run the oiled filter, and like I said, it is a foam filter, so I can just wash it out and clean it out whenever I want to. But yet I could still, you know, ride it in the dirt, which kind of was the intended purpose when I first got it. So anyway, thanks again for watching. If you guys have any questions, anything that I can help with, send me a comment. Take the time to like and subscribe, and share this with your friends. Thanks for watching.